Welcome back, guys. Luke with Premium Aquatics here. You know what we're doing. Tank series. Huge box came this week. This I'm really excited for. New product we got in last week or something like that. So without further ado, the knife is in. Cut this open. Let me show you what we got. You're going to like this. First and foremost, I'm trying out a new camera here. This is not the GoPro, so hopefully we're not going to have that stretched wide angle lens that it utilizes. So hopefully this is a little bit better. The audio we're going to test out. This does not have an external mic option on it, so we'll see how it goes. Let me know how the audio is, please, guys, so I can know if this camera is going to be worth it or not, or if I have to do a little bit more work. So really don't want to make a mess. All these peanuts to the side. There are so many of them, and I know I'm going to make a mess, and I've already dropped some, and my son comes in here and has a heyday with breaking them up, so now I've got tiny little pieces of peanuts everywhere in this room. So I'd like to not further that through it. You guys can't see this. I got peanuts everywhere. Oh my word. Okay, let's open up our next container. The Reefkinetics Reefbot. I'm excited to try this out. You may have seen it on our website already, but this is something new. We only have a select limited quantity in stock, but this guy is for testing your water. If you want an automated system that does a lot of different parameters like nitrate, nitrite, ammonia, pH, calcium, alkalinity, all those suckers, take a look at this. This thing is going to be incredible. That is some serious packaging. We have instructions. Set that to the side. Obviously, we'll read that. Oh, this thing is very large. So this is going to be what we're looking at. Let me get a table in here, and we'll open this bad boy up, and we'll go over it and showcase this and see what we got inside. I'm excited for this, guys. Let's go. I'll open this up so you can see exactly how this does the automated testing. And there is an app for it. It is Wi-Fi and Ethernet capable, so you will need that to be able to utilize the app, connect to your unit, and set it up from there. That will also allow you to get push notifications and alerts and all that in your results from wherever you are. As long as you have the app that you can open up and data or Wi-Fi, whatever, you can get the result of what your system is doing. So if you're across the country, you still have access to it, which is really cool. And that's important because there's nothing worse than when you go on vacation and you find out, you leave your tank in the hands of someone else and you find out something happened. Well, this can allow you to see those results of certain parameters inside your tank and let whoever know, or if you have to come back early. So whatever the case may be, and what it's going to utilize is, let me grab this, and what it's going to do and how this is doing its testing is by off-the-counter test kits. So there are many different brands of test kits that you can use. Salifert, Red Sea, Geeseman, Elos, Fauna Marin, Tropic Marin, I think API are the main tests that you can buy. And right now, each brand of test kit has a specific element that you can test for. So for instance, with Salifert, the brand Salifert, I can test alkalinity with it. It does not do anything else for Salifert, but with this test kit, the parameters and what are inside to test this work with the Reefbot. So we'll go over how we're going to set this up, what you need to do to get it set up, what this comes with, all the 9 yards, all the juicy amazingness of this system. Let's go over it. Probably going to be a couple series because there's a lot to go over with this thing. So let's open it up. I'll get you in here closer so you can see it up close and personal. Get real handsy with it. Let's go. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this up so you can see the internal workings of this guy. We're just going to flip this little fish-like guy, and inside we have all our accessories that we're going to be getting, that you're going to be getting with this. And it is zip tied and taped. Make sure this thing isn't moving around, jostling any of the mechanics in there. So let me get a scissors. All right, there we go. I got those boxes out. They go the extra mile with packaging, obviously with this going international and a lot of mechanics to this. They go the extra mile to make sure that this thing is going to be well taken care of for you. Box number 1 is our power supply. These 2 boxes here, or actually this looks, I think this is just styrofoam here. This is going to be all our accessories we need to get this set up. We have 12 vials, we have syringes, we have our needles for the syringes, tubing, and then inside each of these is a little magnetic stir, a little pill. I don't know how well you can tell that. I'll pull it out actually. Pull it out here. A little magnetic stir, which will make sure that your reagents are all mixed up. That is extremely important because without that, it is possible that the Reefbot will not read properly. So essentially what we're doing here is we're going to slide a vial in, and we can slide them into each position. There's enough for 8 of the bottles, so you do get extras, which is nice. We have our vials set up. We would put our reagents in here that we would need, however many per test. If it takes 2 reagents, you'd put them in 2, and you'll know that for whatever test you use. And then back here is our arm mechanism that will slide this robotic arm back and forth. It does offer automatic rinsing, so this will be basically the way this is going to be connected up is it's going to have one connection up to your tank water, whether it be through your sump or through your tank. It's going to have the second connection up to an RODI, so if you have an auto top off, you can utilize that, or if you need to get a new one and get us just a small container of RODI water or RO water, you'll utilize that. And then second will be a waste container, because once it's done and doing the rinsing, it needs to flush out this, and it has a little tube back here to where it's going to drain and go into your waste. So you need to have a waste collector, RO unit, or an RO container, and then your tank. So that is why this is that's why this has a specific setup, because you do need to connect to all 3 units to properly ensure automatic testing. As far as the accuracy of this unit goes, it's basically simple. It's as accurate as the test kit that you're using can be. It's not going to supersede what that accuracy is going to be. It is just going to be if the Salifert is accurate within 0.001, whatever. That's how it's going to be for this Reefbot. It is only facilitating the test for you. The accuracy stays exactly the same. It can be a little bit more precise than maybe what we can with our human nature, and if you accidentally add too many drops or add too much liquid or don't add enough salt water, whatnot, this can be a lot more precise, I would venture to say. But in general, the accuracy and your resolution is, your accuracy is going to remain the same. Like we talked about, it comes with your tubing, the check valve, it comes with your syringes, as well as the needles. I think there were 5 needles in there for replacement, and these do need to be replaced. The nice thing about it is, this will, how great this app is it's going to tell you when you need to change things out. So this syringe does have a max use, and when they recommend that you start changing things out to make sure that your accuracy and precision is staying at the at the best that it can. So it will tell you on the app how many uses this syringe has had, when you need to change it out. That way you know, and you're not guessing, well, does it look okay? It takes out the guesswork. They do it for you, which is amazing. That's awesome. Reef Kinetics to really go that extra mile to make sure that there is no guesswork here, and minimizing that as much as possible. So comes with those. You replace them. You can get extra vials, you can get extra magnetic stirs, you can get the syringes, you can get the needles, you can get all of this stuff as an accessory, and if you want to have more vials ready for other test kits that are an option for this unit, by all means do it. Then of course, like I mentioned, you do get these little labels that you can put on the vial, and if you run out of those, just get another sticker. They're like the garage sale stickers, and use those. So when you do your tests, and you can set a schedule, you can do it weekly, you can do it hourly, you can do it monthly, whatever you want to set up, it has it on the app. And like I said, we'll go over the app in another episode. Otherwise, this thing is going to last an hour. So we'll go over that app further down the road, and maybe we'll show some more tests being ran. But in that app, you can schedule it as little or as much as you want to, and it'll log your results for you. I have 2 logged results since I've done 2 tests, so now I can see both of those, and it'll graph it for you even as time goes. So you can see over time how your tank has progressed. Has it stayed consistent? Do you have fluctuations going on that you need to know about? And if it goes outside of a boundary that you want to be notified of, you can set alarms to do that, and it can send either push notifications to your phone, or if you want to, it can send you an email as well. So that's always nice to have, because it's one thing to have things tested for you and automatically done, but it's another thing to make sure that you're actually aware of it. If your pH goes too low or whatever you want to test, your calcium skyrockets, it's great that it tests it, but if you don't know it, if you're not paying attention to it, it's always nice to get that notification, hey, you did something wrong, your calcium skyrocketed. So that's really cool to have. So with a system like this, one of the really, really amazing features that you're going to see here is the self-cleaning rinsing. To me, that is obviously it's needed to ensure no cross-contamination between test kits, reagents, and to ensure everything is going to be as accurate as what the test is supposed to be and precise as what it's supposed to be. So what is cool is this is our little rinsing vial here, and you're going to see this syringe come over to it, dip inside, it'll fill this up with the fresh RODI water, fill it up, it'll take it into the syringe when it needs to, flush it out 2 or 3 times, I think it's 3 times it'll flush it out to ensure nothing is left remaining inside. And then it also, one of the things that really blew my mind is how ingenious this is. To me, this is genius. It literally takes, for this reagent, we have our alkalinity test kit, and right here is the indicator. And so it took from the indicator, came back out, goes over, because it's going to put it inside our test vial, which is over here. But before it does that, surprisingly makes a little pit stop into the cleaning solution, pulls in some RODI water, and then it does a shake. It literally vibrates this mechanism, which vibrates the needle inside this water. So it's not only going to test for us, it's so concerned about precision that it's going to clean off the needle to ensure there is nothing left on the tip of it or on the outside here from the reagents that we're pulling from that's going to mess up the test results. To me, that is just amazing that it takes into account that there could be enough on the outside of this needle that it could screw up the results that you get. So we're going to make sure, and we're going to clean it off before we do that. I mean, that's, to me, that's amazing. That really goes to show how much thought went into this machine to ensure that it is giving you accurate readings for your test. Okay, real quick, just to show you here on the side is where we're going to plug in all our tubing. It comes with 3 hoses. All are, I believe, the same 6 feet in length. One is for the tank, which has this filter on it, then for the RODI, and then for waste. So you'll connect those all up. They do say do not extend these hoses. And then of course on the other side, real quick, we have our Ethernet port. This is a Wi-Fi capable unit, but if you want to have a little bit more stability with your internet, it's always best to have it direct connected. But if you can't do that, it is Wi-Fi, should be good, but just so you know. And then we have our power supply port right here. So we'll get this plugged up and get the internals set up, and I'll show you it, and then I'll get the app downloaded, and hopefully we'll run a little test with our Soliford alkalinity. Okay, so we're going to perform the test. I've got the app up here. I'm going to select it just to manually do it. We have our waste container here. Hopefully it doesn't come out too much, but we've got that for our waste, our good RODI water, and then I've got the other tubing running to the tank. So let's go ahead and hit perform test. Test submitted successfully. Alright, I'm still learning this, so forgive me here a little bit. My first test, I actually think, well, it could be this panel, but it also needed the stirs in these two vials here, or at least in this vial. I don't know if this was actually necessary, but the magnet does spin underneath this one, so I thought I'll put one in there. They do give you 3 extra in that little baggie. But I looked inside of this vial here and it didn't have anything inside, so I went ahead and put one in there, because that obviously would need something as it's stirring and putting in the reagent and all that jazz. So after I did that, reran the test, I actually got a successful test that my DKH is 8.9. Now it would be interesting to test that against doing just manually, and that's probably what I'll do. But for now, it gave me a reading, and that is just so. This is so cool. I can't tell you how much I love it. Now, I do need to label these so I don't forget what they are, but since they're on my phone and on the dashboard that you can look on the website, I don't know how you would mess it up unless you take it out and do it from there. Then you could possibly mix it up. So label your files. One thing I will mention, so for instance, if I were have 2 reagents per test kit, I'm only going to be able to do 4 test kits in here. They give you 4 extra vials. They give you a total of 12. So they give you a total of 12 of these vials. So technically speaking, what I could do, label all these, label those extra 4, and if it's 2 per test kit again, I could actually have 6 out of the box ready to go. And then, for instance, if I'm done doing alkalinity and I want to run a quick test for calcium, take out my 2 alkalinities, put in calcium. All I have to do is go to the app, tell the app what has been placed in 1 and 2. I'll tell them, oh, it's calcium now by this brand, run a test, and it'll do it. Then when I want to go back to my daily schedule, or my, not my daily schedule, but when I want to go back to the normal schedule, pull out those calciums, put the alkalinity back in, and away I go. Obviously, your main 4 that you want to test, or main 3, whatever you want to test for, you're going to keep in there. Then as you want to do extra tests here and there, like if you want to do an iodine, a test that isn't done as often, then you could swap those out. So next week we'll look in the app and I'll show you all that, because you're not going to be able to see it because this video would just be way too long. So we'll go over that next week. But this thing is amazing. It's a beast. Go check it out. We have a limited supply right now. We'll get more in, but we have a limited supply. So make sure to jump on these if you think it'll work for you. I think it's phenomenal. I'm excited to get more tests in here to run tests on it just to see how it does, and really get some schedules set up and see how it performs. Next week we'll go over the app, and then maybe I'll show you a few of the actual setting up of an entire test kit, because for now I'm just going to speed through the test that I did, because it is pretty lengthy. It does take much longer to do it mechanically like this than what it does manually. Manually you may spend 5-10 minutes. This thing, I believe on the alkalinity for Saliford, it took about 35 minutes. So it is a longer process, but again, it's automated. You're most likely not standing here just waiting for it to do its thing, unless you like looking at electronics and enjoying what it's doing, because it's amazing. But go check it out, guys. Link in the description below. Premium Aquatics. Take a look at it. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell for the notification so you see the most update on this system, that system, as well as the other videos we're putting out. We may have one to give away down the road, so keep an eye out. Wink, wink. We'll catch you next weekend, guys. Peace.